That's right.
Our Sifu Dennis Lee, who will be up on stage to show you a little bit of Wing Chun on stage.
Are you ready to welcome them on stage? Let's show them some applause.
好，来，掌声欢迎，好不好？我们的咏春示范，这个时候我们请所有的表演者上台，掌声鼓励。
欢迎。
Ladies and gentlemen, give them a big round of applause， 掌声鼓励一下我们刚刚的这个表演，哇哦！这个是我们其实刚刚在里面有看到哈，我们这位就是我们的西服嘞。
其实我们不只是可以在这个荧幕上看到他，我们现实生活中也把师傅请来了。
我们这个时候一起来欢迎我们的师傅上台，西服 Dennis Lee， 掌声鼓励。
Let's welcome the founder of Wing Chun Martial Association。
特别今天来到我们新加坡这里，而且现在在我们身旁的这一位呢是 Ricky 将会给我们做这个翻译啦，对不对？好，那我们来问一问师傅几道问题，好不好
？That's right. First of all, we would like师傅 Dennis to give us a short introduction of yourself.
咁多位好，我係李煜昌，就嚟自香港，咁就師承咧就係頭先你見到啦，葉問宗師嘅第二仔葉正師傅，咁啊集拳就20幾30年啦，差唔多。
Okay, my name, or rather his name is Dennis. He comes from Hong Kong. He's the current chairman of Ip Man's school, Wing Chun Athletic Association. He's also the closed-door disciple of Ip Man's second son, Grandmaster Yip Ching. And he's been doing Wing Chun for about 20 over years.
Wow, 20 over years. I understand that you are now currently the chairman of VTAA, the actual Ip Man school in Hong Kong, which has a history of over 50 years, and also have your own Wing Chun school in Italy, in Hong Kong, in Indonesia, and Singapore. So can you tell us a little bit about what we have seen just now about Wing Chun?
Wing Chun 咧就係中國武術300年到嘅歷史啦，咁我哋南派功夫，咁由佛山、梁贊、詠春，跟住去到葉問。
Okay, so Wing Chun Kung Fu is, has got its historical background from southern China. It evolves from southern China, and it has a history of about 300 over years. And it evolves from, you can trace its history back to Liang before Yip Man.
咁葉問1950年去到香港，就將詠春拳咧開始公開地教授，就令到今日我哋葉問係詠春咧就發展到世界各地。
Okay, so the spread of Wing Chun can be attributed to Grandmaster Yip Man, who came to Hong Kong in the 50s, and from there he started teaching. I think this also was shown in the movies, right? He came to Hong Kong and he started teaching Wing Chun, and it can be today's popularity of Wing Chun can be credited to him because he was the one that actually spread the martial arts.
So what exactly are the uniqueness of Wing Chun? Can you please share with us?
詠春我哋講求嘅就係個中線啦。腰馬發力，同埋一個好短埋身嘅搏擊術。咁啊，我哋講求借力打力，消打同時咁樣。
Okay, the uniqueness of Wing Chun is this. We focus on the center line. We focus on close quarters combat. It is fighting in very close quarters, and we usually focus on the center line for our attack. And we also focus on using our entire body structure, which is the Wing Chun stance, and our whole entire body structure to actually go for the attack and the defense.
Right. So can you also tell some of us in Singapore here who will be suitable to practice Wing Chun?
咁頭先都講過啦，咁我哋呢個咧就唔係鬥大力嘅，所以任何年紀男性、女性都啱玩。
Okay, so the Wing Chun art is not an art that uses pitting muscle strength against muscle strength, so it's suitable for young and old, for female and male. In fact, the Wing Chun has its origin from a female, and it's actually suitable for one of a smaller size against someone of a bigger size. As you can see from Donnie Yen and Mike Tyson, right?
All right. So in fact, I think we have the Wing Chun school in Singapore. So if any one of you will be interested to pick up Wing Chun and to learn Wing Chun, 当然我们新加坡的朋友如果有一些想要学咏春的话，这么新加坡也是可以的，对不对？
是因为有最这个道地的这个师傅来教你。All right, thank you so much, 师傅 Dennis. And now we'd like to hand over the stage back to the performers for more Wing Chun performances.
好不好？我们来掌声鼓励一下，
谢谢师傅，谢谢
师傅今天特别来到新加坡，谢谢。
Right, thank you very much, Jeff. And so now I'll take over. My name is Ricky. I'm one of the students from Dennis Lee Wing Chun Association. He's our Sifu. Now, today we'll be very privileged to have this opportunity to showcase and demonstrate what Wing Chun is to you. But before I do that, I would like to just give you a brief introduction of what Siu Lim Tao is all about, which is the group of students just performed. That form is what we call Siu Lim Tao, or little ideas, 小念头. It is the most basic hand form of Wing Chun. It is the most basic, and it is in that form where you will learn all the necessary hand form and all the techniques that you need for Wing Chun fighting. Alright, so now Sifu Dennis, together with some of our students, will continue to demonstrate to you the other forms that we have in Wing Chun, namely the Cham Kyu and the Puji. So without further ado, I would like to invite the participants on stage to demonstrate Cham Kyu, which is the second form after the Siu Lim Tao. I would like to invite my fellow students, please, Dave and Kin Hong. Round of applause for them, please. So, Sifu, Dennis, and my two fellow students will be demonstrating what we call Cham Kyu, which is called Xun Qiao. Now, the difference between Cham Kyu and Siu Lim Tao is you will see that just now, mainly the performance is very stationary. Alright, but now in Cham Kyu you see a lot more movement. Alright, so without further ado, I will leave the performance to Sifu Dennis and my two fellow classmates. Thank you very much, Sifu Dennis and my two fellow students. Now, before we move on to the next part, maybe I'd like to just have a chat about Cham Kyu from Sifu Dennis. Alright, so Sifu, just like to ask you, exactly what Cham Kyu? We know the difference between Cham Kyu and Siu Lim Tao, just how I explained. So maybe our audience may be interested to know what use does Cham Kyu have in Wing Chun fighting?
咁少念頭先大家睇過，咁佢哋好定咁喺度玩咧，就係練習一個基本動作。尋橋咧就係喐動啦，我哋可以上馬去追擊啦，或者喺個轉馬練我哋嘅腰馬，令到我哋嗰個力量加大。
Okay, so Sifu Dennis says that in Cham Kyu we basically incorporate what we learn in Siu Lim Tao, because Siu Lim Tao is just stationary using hand, but in Cham Kyu we actually incorporate the hand movement with the stance. I think in the movie everyone also has seen how Donnie Yen fought around opponents, moving either left to right, front to back. So Cham Kyu actually trains and allows us to practice our hand form with the structure in Wing Chun fighting using such movement. Alright? So maybe we'll let Sifu Dennis rest up for a while. Now, just prior to this event, we have invited interested parties to come and experience what Wing Chun is exactly all about. And a couple of people have actually signed up. And right now, without further ado, we'd like to invite a group of friends who have signed up to actually try out this Wing Chun experience. Alright, so round of applause for our friends who have just signed up. Now, essentially what this Wing Chun experience about is this. A lot of people are very curious as to what exactly Wing Chun is all about, and what we know of Wing Chun is actually a lot from the movies. Alright, so essentially in this short introduction, we're just going to do very basic Wing Chun move, including the Wing Chun stance and the punches. Now, if you notice in the movie, the stance, you may find it quite weird, right? It doesn't look very stable, but actually this stance is very, very stable, and Sifu Dennis will be teaching our participants how to stand this stance, and of course, he'll be teaching them the very famous move that Ip Man always do, the chain punch. Alright, so as the Sifu is teaching them, I will be explaining what it's all about, so you can pick it up, and if you want to know more, you can always contact us later on. Alright, so I'll hand over the time to Sifu Dennis. So Sifu Dennis right now is teaching them what we call pokin. Okay, holding up the feet on both sides, bending the knee, opening up our feet 45 degrees wide, and swiveling the feet 45 degrees the other direction, so it looks like an 8, right? So if you look down at your feet, it will look like your feet is 45 degrees this way. Now, after that, the most important part of this stance is the pelvis have to throw forward. Alright, this is to ensure your whole entire spine is straight to the floor. And with this stance, it is very, very grounded. And if you have meet with someone, if you're able to stand this stance properly, and if you meet with someone bigger than you, it is not easy for them to actually shake you, because whatever energy that is given to you, it will be absorbed to the ground. Now, this may sound mumbo jumbo, but it's actually science. So it's physics, actually. It's physiology and it's physics. So the stance is created in such a way that when an opponent gives you energy, or when an opponent comes into an attack, in Wing Chun, we are taught to actually absorb, to take the energy, a bit like Tai Chi, but a bit like Tai Chi, we take up the energy and then we return it back to the opponent. So if you remember how Donnie Yen fights in the movie, he actually does a lot of that. When the punch and the kicks come, he'll always block, and then he will shift, and then he'll move forward again. And that is the function of this stance, alright? Now, so what they're doing right now is, Sifu Dennis is trying to give the participant energy by pushing them and helping them to absorb the energy to the ground. It may look very simple to do, but actually to master this stance, it will take a while. Alright, but it's not too difficult. If you practice, with practice, I think a lot of us will be able to pick it up very, very fast. Okay, now Sifu Dennis is trying to explain, if the pelvis is not pushed forward, energy comes, your whole structure will break and you will fall behind. Alright, so now he's moving on to our next friend. Sifu Dennis is giving him energy again to try and help him absorb it to the ground. Alright, so Sifu Dennis is trying to tell him to relax on his shoulder, because a lot of us, the tendency is once an energy or once someone pushes you, the instinctive move is to just tense up your arm, tense up your shoulder, and then try to fight the energy. That is not the intent of Wing Chun. The intent of Wing Chun is to bring it in and then give it back again. Quite courteous lah, we are Wing Chun practitioners. We are quite nice people actually. You give us the energy, we return it back to you. Alright, so the last participant is trying the same thing, trying to get the energy grounded to the floor. Alright, thank you very much. I think they roughly had an experience of what the Wing Chun stance is all about. Now the second thing, now Sifu Dennis is going to teach them chain punch. This is the one that everybody's interested in. See how Donnie Yen punch like a robot like that, right? Continuously. So the punch, if you notice, Wing Chun punch is not this way. This way is usually the Taekwondo, Karate punch, the other, even boxer, they punch this way. But for Wing Chun, if you notice, we punch this way. Now you will be probably figuring out why do we punch this way against this physics, because like I mentioned just now, Wing Chun punch and Wing Chun attack always focuses on the center. Now if you were to go from the center this way, it will look odd and feel odd because the vein here will be pulling and you will be using your muscle strength instead. But if you were to go straight and using the three knuckles, the last three knuckles as a contact point, it will be very effective and very comfortable. Okay, so this is what they're doing right now. Sifu Dennis is teaching them how to do the chain punch from the center. Now some of them look a bit tentative, but don't worry, you just have to use your elbow and throw it out, and you look like Donnie Yen in no time. Alright? Let's just give them a round of applause to just encourage them. How about that? Now let's do it faster then. Okay, now you've got to stand on the stance. Alright, that's good, that's right. Whoa, let's round of applause. Alright. Very good, very good. Thank you very much. Okay, now I'd like to invite Sifu Dennis to present to them souvenir that we have from the school. Thank you very much for being so sporting, and thank you very much for participating. Alright, thank you very much, thank you. Alright, now for the next performance, we are going to show you Biuji, which is the third hand form of the Wing Chun system. In Wing Chun, we have three hand forms: Xiu Ling Tao, which you have seen earlier; Cham Kyu, which also you have seen earlier; and now for the final hand form, which is called Biuji, very deadly hand form, and which is the most advanced hand form as well. Not easy to learn. It requires a lot of experience, and beginner students will not be able to do this. So only students with a sufficient proficiency will be able to do Biuji. Alright, so before we do Biuji, maybe I'd like to have a word with Sifu Dennis to explain what this Biuji is all about and why Biuji is not taught to students outside previously. Sifu.
咁以前咧，我哋學拳係好艱苦嘅，要好長時間嘅。咁咧玩到標指咧，起碼都真係3、5、7年打後㗎啦。咁因為咁嘅緣故咧，咁同埋標指咧係比較有個我哋叫全攻擊或者比較殺傷力強啲嘅拳套。咁所以以前咧，前輩們咧就會睇清楚你個為人先會教俾你嘅，就係咁啦。
Okay, so Sifu Dennis just explained that Biuji is a very advanced form of the Wing Chun, and it is very, very difficult to master. And Biuji is also a very deadly hand form, and which is not readily taught to people outside the close disciples of the Sifu because of the deadliness of this hand form. If you will see from the performance later, you will understand why. Because this hand form is very aggressive, and it also allows the teacher to only assess the students who has a suitable personality and character before it's being taught to the student, because of the deadliness of this hand form, we do not want the students with the skills to actually run amok or actually create havoc outside. So without further ado, well, let's put our hand together for Sifu Dennis again, who will demonstrate to you Beauty. Thank you very much once again, Sifu Dennis. As you can see, Beauty, which is darting fingers, translated darting fingers, you will see him doing a lot of darting, right? So that one is a lot of attacking movement. And now that you've seen the demonstration, you can understand why I say Beauty is a very aggressive hand form. All right. Now, without further ado, I think you have all seen this little wooden dummy that is before, or rather behind me. We are going to demonstrate to you this wooden dummy form. Now in Wing Chun, there's 3 hand form, wooden dummy form, and 2 weapons, which is the butterfly knife, or we call Patsamto, and the long pole, which is what we call the Lok Ting Pun Kun. Now we will not be doing the butterfly knife and the Lok Ting Pun Kun today, but instead we'll take the remaining time that we have to actually show you the wooden dummy form. Alright, because this is something that is that interests many people on Wing Chun, and it is also a very iconic feature. When everybody mentions Wing Chun, everybody will think of the wooden dummy. And Donnie Yen, in almost every beginning of the Yip Man movies, also does the wooden dummy form. Now, wooden dummy form may look easy to perform, but to do it well requires very close supervision. Otherwise, is what our Sifu will call Cha-Cha Wing Chun. Alright, because you're just doing dancing. Probably you'll find a lot of these YouTube videos of people doing wooden dummy, but it looks very nice, but actually for real Wing Chun practitioners, you will realize that they are actually dancing. They're actually not doing the proper wooden dummy form. Alright, so before Sifu Dennis do the wooden dummy, maybe we'll just like to have a quick chat with Sifu Dennis on the wooden dummy and what is the purpose of training on the wooden dummy.
咁3套拳都睇過啦，小念頭、尋橋、標指。咁入木人樁咧，就係我哋3套拳裏邊嘅嘢集合埋一齊，我哋要練習一個對敵嘅方法，所以係要有功夫，就唔係擦擦。
Okay, so what Sifu Dennis has just said is that we will now incorporate whatever you learn in Siu Lim Tao, Cham Kyu and Beauty onto the wooden dummy. So when he performs the wooden dummy, you will find some of the moves very familiar because these are from the 3 hand forms. And the wooden dummy offers a stationary dummy for the practitioner to throw out the energy and then practice the angle, to practice the attack and to practice the hand form. Now in Wing Chun, the angle of attack is very important because we always go for the center line. Alright, so we don't anyhow punch people this way or run around the opponent that way. So the wooden dummy offers us a stationary object for us to focus our punches our stance, our blocking hand, and some of the kicks. Alright, so without further ado, let's put our hands together as Sifu Dennis demonstrates to us the wooden dummy form.
Excuse me. Give way. Come, medical. Anybody around?
Sifu Dennis. Even though I've been doing Wing Chun for a while, every time I see the Sifus doing the wooden dummy, I always get very excited. Or when the new music comes out, I got feel I want to do. But I tell you, doing the wooden dummy, when I first started doing a lot of Orten, a lot of blue black, that's because I didn't do it wrongly. I mean, I didn't do it rightly. That's why a lot of blue black. Now, what you saw Sifu Dennis did just now, I would say he's only probably contributing about 40% of the energy. Because if you were to go 100%, Sifu Andy will be flying quite far back. So he's quite controlled just now. Alright, now, so you'll be wondering, okay, so the wooden dummy like that lah, so how practical is it? You train so much on the wooden dummy, is it really, really useful? Now, I can attest to that. We are just going to show you right now 2 sections of the wooden dummy and its practical usage in combat, in hand-to-hand combat. Now, when Sifu Dennis demonstrates this section 1 and 2 on a person, you will probably find some of this move familiar if you have watched the Ip Man movies closely. Right? So, right now we're going to get Sifu Dennis to demonstrate section 1 and its usage. This is section 1. Alright, so this is section 1. Now we have a live person. This is Sifu Andy. He's one of our school's Sifu. And Sifu Dennis will then now demonstrate how it works. Wow. Alright, that is how the section 1 is being used. Want to see again? Want to see again? Slow motion? Okay, maybe we invite Sifu Dennis to do again and you'll see how it looks like, alright? This is how it looks like. Slow motion. And one of the very famous hand move that you always see in the movie is the Bong Sau. This one also very iconic. You see this one means it's Wing Chun. If it's not Wing Chun, I do not know what it is. But I think only Wing Chun has this Bong Sau. Alright? So now, we'll show you section 2. Alright? How section 2 and how it's being applied. Alright, Sifu Dennis please, section 2. Alright, that is section 2. Now, you wonder how does it apply in actual combat. This is how it looks like in actual combat. Alright, one more time. Alright, round of applause. Now, okay, you probably now think that, yeah lah, this one stage lah, correct? Maybe actual fella, why? maybe you can try Sifu. I tried before, I flew, okay? So I'm much bigger than him, so I also flew. Alright, so one of the very common move that you saw just now in section 2 is also the Pak Sau. Pak Sau means the slapping hand. This is what you see Donnie Yen does quite a lot also. When the punch comes, he'll slap. He'll slap the punch away. So how is it different from the other martial arts? The other martial arts, some of them will actually push or block, right? But in Wing Chun, we actually slap. Okay, we slap the hand away because we do not want to have too much of a movement we do not want to have very exaggerated movement to fight. So essentially, we want to focus on economy of movement, fastest distance to the target, and the shortest way to do it. That's what we always do, alright? Okay, so now, for the final part of our demonstration, Sifu Dennis is going to demonstrate what we call Qi Sao. Anybody know what Qi Sao is?
Yes.
Anybody? Qi Sao? Sticky hands, that's right. Qi Sao is sticky hand. You'll be wondering, how come Wing Chun got sticky hand? Sticky hand is not pouring glue onto our hands and then stick to each other. That's not the case, huh? Now, why Wing Chun practitioner practice sticky hand? Is to practice the sensitivity of our hands to the opponent. Now, if you notice how Donnie Yen fight, he seems to be able to predict almost every punch and every move that the opponent has and be able to counter it. So Qi Sao is actually allows us to do that. Now in Qi Sao, during training, we have our training partner where we lock our hands and we start to roll. Okay? And then whenever the opponent tries to move, you will be able to feel and react accordingly. Alright, so without further ado, instead of me trying to explain to you what is Qi Sao, maybe I'll let Sifu Dennis and Sifu Andy show you exactly how Qi Sao looks like. Sifu speak. So you see they're rolling the hand already. So they're giving each other energy, they're not just playing. Alright? If you're inside there, you'll feel, okay, they are giving each other energy, they're pushing forward, they're right now trying to check out each other, what each other is trying to move. And you will see this Qi Sao very clearly in Ip Man 3, when Ip Man fought Zhang Tianzhi. If you remember, both of them were doing this, alright? So this is really what we do in Wing Chun. And all the hand forms that you see being used here is from the Siu Lim Tao and Cham Kiu Piu Ti. Now we are just putting it into practice with a live opponent who is giving you energy and also reacting to what you are doing. So Wing Chun is a live art. It is not just learning the pattern and that's it. We actually try to practice it with different partners who has different personality, different aggression, different thing. Okay, so I think that's all we have for you. So once again, a round of applause for Sifu Dennis and Sifu Andy. Once again, before Sifu Dennis go, I just want to check, don't you think you look a bit like Ip Man? It's not. I'll be quite scared if it's him. But again, once again, Sifu Dennis is the closed-door disciple of our Tai Si Kong Ip Cheng, which is the second son of Grandmaster Ip Man. He has a school in Singapore, Italy, Indonesia, and in Singapore, the Dennis Lee Wing Chun Athletic Association, Dennis Lee Wing Chun Martial Arts Association. If you are interested, you can just approach any one of us later on with this t-shirt. There will be a free trial class, and if you are interested, you can carry on. Alright, so once again, thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much, Sifu Dennis. Thank you.
Wow! And ladies and gentlemen, once again, 我们给师傅掌声鼓励，好不好？哇！谢谢师傅，谢谢 Ricky 在这个舞台上给我们做的这个示范，还有。